ॐ दक्षिणस्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशववामन कृष्ण पाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रीहरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्। So we completed the 23rd verse in the last session, where from the 17th verse up till the 23rd verse, Bhagwan Shankaracharya is doing what is called as the Sthula Sharira Atma Viveka. Atma Anatma Viveka means what? That which is the real me and that which is mistakenly taken as me. What is the difference? What is it that I mistakenly taken for myself because of the Mula Avidya? That I am the body, I am the mind, I am the sense complex. So I am the Sukshma Sharira, I am the Sthula Sharira, I am the Karana Sharira. I said we'll forget about Karana Sharira because that doesn't come in our Vyavahara. It is only say Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Abhimana or identification. So whenever whatever is the attribute of the Sthula Sharira, I take it as my attribute. Whatever is there in the Sthula Sharira, I take it as myself. See, Sthula Sharira is something which is witnessed by me. Sthula Sharira is something experienced by me. So I cannot be that. This book is seen by me. It's an object of my experience. It cannot be I, the subject. Okay. So I have a book. This book is mine, but I'm not the book. So when I'm experiencing the book, I cannot say that I'm the book. And when I own a book, I say it's my book. I'm not the book. Similarly, I observe the body. I am the observer, and the body is the drishyam or the observed. So I cannot be the body. I may say I have a body, but if I have a body, it does not mean that I'm the body. For example, I see a pot and I can't say I'm the pot. I own a pot, I can't say I'm the pot. Similarly, body or the Sthula Sharira with whom or with which the identification is maximum, that is where we have to really direct our inquiry. Because the first thing that we have to break is the identification with the Sthula Sharira, which is the most difficult thing. Because for lives together, we have identified ourselves with the body. I say, I am fat, I am thin, I am tall, I am dark, I am fair. Okay. And then there are people who will say, that I am blonde, I am brunette, I am this. No. See, the color of the skin, I consider as myself. I am dark, I am fair. Color of the hair, I take it as myself. The situation, the way the body is, I take it as myself. So here what Bhagwan Shankaracharya is doing is, and what our scriptures do is, first try to break the strongest entanglement, the strongest misconception that I am the body. And in this, what happened from the 17th verse to the 23rd verse, Bhagwan Shankaracharya used logic, yukti. Yukti means what? Logic. And logically proved that I am not the body. Why? He gave reasons where he showed that the body has opposite, characteristics or opposite swarupas. Viparita, that's whatever he said is, the viparita swarupatva. I, the Atma, and the body are of exactly contradictory characteristics. So the Swarupam of the body is absolutely Viparitam, exactly opposite to that of I, the Atma. Therefore, I cannot be the body. This is what is called as Yukti Pramana. Yukti means by logic. He tried to prove it by logic. Now, in the next verses, starting from 24th verse, Bhagwan Shankaracharya is going to use Shruti as the Pramanam. Yuktya, by Yukti, the last 5 verses gave us the reasons for why I am not the body. Okay? Even if I say I have a body, it's okay, because incidentally, I am associated with this body. And I have a sense that, Mama, this is my body. But then what is mine cannot be me. What I see cannot be me. So he gave logical reasons and showed us that the body and I, the knower of the body, are of exactly opposite characters. And I don't want to repeat them again because we have already seen it in the other texts which we have taken before also. Now, Bhagwan Shankaracharya is going to prove that or substantiate the yukti pramana, or the yukti or the logical reasoning which he has given by Shruti pramana. Shruti pramana means what? What the Upanishads, what the Vedas are talking about the real nature of myself or the Atma. And one thing I want to tell you here, when we read all these next 5 or 6 verses, we'll find that the first line says what I am, and the second line says what I am not. You know, it is very important, because if I know Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Atma, Aham Atma Asmi, that is not sufficient. My wrong understanding or my wrong entanglement or my wrong identification with the body is so much that I have to negate the false. Just asserting the real is not sufficient. In Vedanta, when we try to understand who am I, just knowing Aham Nitya Shuddha Buddha Atma Asmi, it's not enough. Then what about this body? What about this body? What about my body? What about this? So I have to negate that. So once I negate what I'm not, and then I assert what I am, the knowledge is complete. The mistake has to be negated first, and the correct knowledge has to be asserted later. Do you remember the Atma Shatkam which we took up in the Advaita Parastotras of Bhagwan Shankaracharya? We saw that Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. I'm not the mind, I'm not the buddhi, I'm not the chitta, I'm not the ahankara. Nashrat shrotra jive nacha grana netre. I'm not any of the sense organs. Nacha vyoma bhumi na tejo na vayu. I'm not the 5 elements. Negation. Then Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I assert what I am. So merely asserting what I am is not sufficient. Here, what Bhagwan Shankaracharya is going to do is, in the next 5 verses, first he is going to give the assertion of what I am. The next line is going to be negating what I am not. This is complete knowledge. What is wrong is negated. What is correct is reiterated. So, my wrong idea should go, and in its place, the right knowledge should come in. That is why, Nisheda Rupena, it is also talked about who I am, and then Vidhi Rupena also. That is, in whatever way it is asserted. So, now you will find that in the Shruti Pramana, that in the next few verses, the first line talks about what the Upanishads talk about my real nature. And the second line, which is common to all the verses, negates my wrong identification with the body. My wrong identification with the body is negated in the second line. So, with this introduction, let us go to the 24th verse. And the 24th verse onwards, for a few verses, it is the Shruti Pramana of ascertaining my reality, my real nature, and negating my false perception that I am the body. So let's read the 24th verse. Brahmaivaham samashantaha Satchidanandalakshanam Naham deho hyasadrupo Jnanamityuchyate budhaihi. So, what is the meaning of the right knowledge according to the wise people, according to our rishis, according to our shastra? What is the right knowledge? The right knowledge, jnanam iti uchyate budhaihi. Jnanam iti uchyate. That means clear understanding or knowledge as described by the rishis, as described by the Upanishads, means understanding what I am and negating what I am not. So, what he says here, the first line says, Brahmaiva aham. See, the Mahavakya has already come in here. Already, Acharya Shankara is bringing the Mahavakyam here. Brahmaiva aham. Ayamatma Brahma. This Sakshi Chaitanyam, which is the I, is nothing but that Adhishtanam of the entire universe, Brahman. Brahmaiva aham. Samaha. That which is equal or homogeneously present everywhere. Samaha. Shantaha. Shantaha means there is no disturbance in that, no waves in that. You have heard of, we have already talked about Shad Urmis, isn't it? Constant disturbance in the Anatma, constant movement in Anatma. So, what are the Shad Urmis? Or the 6 waves, like waves, again and again they hit this body mind sense complex. What are they? For the Sthula Sharira, it is Jara and Mrityu. Constantly, the Sthula Sharira is hit by Jara and Mrityu. Jara is there, Roga is there, Mrityu, it is constantly being splashed by these waves of Jara and Mrityu. Then, for the Pranamaya Kosha, for the Prana, it is Ashana Pipasa, hunger and thirst. That is what is the urmis or the floods or the waves which are constantly dashing, hunger and thirst. Then we have the pair of urmis or waves which are hitting the mind, ragadvesha, constantly ragadvesha, and all the others are just a continuation of ragadveshas. So all these urmis or all these waves are hitting the Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram. So there is always a disturbance. The body is always Ashanta. The mind is always Ashanta. Hardly a few minutes of Shantata, then the mind is hit by various emotions, various thoughts, all of them some kind of disturbances born out of ragadveshas. So here he says, Brahmaiva aham. I am that consciousness which is samaha, which is the same, which is homogeneous in everything around me, shantaha, where there are no disturbances, where there are no thoughts, no disturbances, silent, quiet, sat chittananda lakshanaha, sat chidananda lakshanaha, of the nature of existence. All the time it is there everywhere. Chit of Jnana Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa, light of consciousness, Ananda, Purnatva Swarupa. There is no apurnatvam or lacking in Atma. Where is the lacking? In the mind. I want to become. I want to become something other than what I am. I want to be somewhere else than what I am now. Correct? I want. I don't accept my situation the way it is. I don't accept myself the way I am. I don't accept the situation as it is. I want to become something else. I want to be somewhere else. I want all the time this apurnatvam. Why? Because I'm identifying myself with a defective apurna anatma. So, what does Vedanta say? That's the reason why we should learn Vedanta, because I am not really that wanting or that Apurna person at all. I am that Atma which is Purnatva Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa. But then, because of my false identification with that which is limited, I have a sense of limitation. And who can solve this limitation? Nobody can solve this limitation. Because I am superimposing the limitations of the body mind sense complex upon myself and feeling miserable and want to be something else. So I am the problem because I don't see myself what I am the way I am. I see myself to be something which is limited, which is not really me at all. So, where is the solution? The solution also is to understand that I am not the limited body mind sense complex, which I think I am, but I am that unlimited Sat Chit Ananda Lakshana or Swarupa Atma. And what helps me to see this? It is Vedanta. That is why, if somebody asks, why should we study Vedanta? For this reason only. Nothing else. It's only Vedanta or Vedas which help me to see what I am and negate the strong, wrong idea that I have about myself. And that is what is being done here. So, who am I? I am the Satchidananda Lakshana Atma, Shanta Atma, Sama Atma. But what is my experience about myself? Ever disturbed, ever wanting, ever limited, ever wanting to be something else, limited all the time. So, that is why Vedanta is necessary to make me see myself the way I am. So, if the limitation is something which is imagined by me, it is my problem. The world cannot sort out this problem. Ishvara cannot sort out this problem. I have to sort out this problem by understanding. By the right understanding, I have to get rid of the wrong notion that I have. And that is what Vedanta does. And that is the reason why all of us should study Vedanta. And then he says that, so Satchidananda Lakshanam, this is the positive affirmation or assertion of the real nature of me. Now comes the negation of what I am not. Naham deha asatrupaha. We saw that in the previous verses also. Deha is asat. It is only a vyavaharika satyam. It is an experiential reality. It is a limited thing. I am not the asat deha. So I am the limitless consciousness existence. I am not the limited and mithya body. Jnanam ityuchyate budaihi. This is the knowledge. This is what Vedanta is trying to teach me. Asserting my reality and negating my wrong notions about myself. That is what is being done now in this entire, 5 or 6 verses. Next, we'll see the 25th verse. Nirvikaro nirakaro niravadyohamavyayah naham deho hyasadrupo jnanamityuchyate budhaihi. The second line is common. The second line continuously says, this is knowledge. What is that? I'm not this limited asat body. I'm not this limited dying, aging, full of diseases, sthula sharira. Then who am I? Sthula sharira vyatirikta nitya shuddha buddha mukta atma. And now he gives my swarupam, real swarupam. Nirvikaraha. I'm changeless. I don't change. When I'm disturbed also, when my mind is disturbed also, I'm the same observer consciousness. When the mind is shantam also, I am the same consciousness. When the body is sick also, I am the same consciousness. When the body is healthy also, it's the same consciousness. When I'm happy, I'm the same. When I'm sad, I'm the same. Not the mind. I, the observer, Atma, is the same. So all my happiness, my sadness, my insufficiency, my alpatvam, everything is experienced by me. It is seen by me. It's an object of experience. Therefore, I cannot be that. Therefore, he says, nirvikaraha. The body is changing. I don't change. I'm the changeless Chaitanya. I'm the changeless consciousness, which is aware of all the changes that are going on in the body mind sense complex. I'm the Shad Vikara Rahita, but I'm the Drik of all the Vikaras that are taking place. Nirakaraha. I'm the formless. It's only formless that can be unlimited, correct? Anything which has a form cannot be unlimited. Space, it is formless. Therefore, it is there everywhere. Correct? Vayu, it's formless, so it can flow everywhere. But what about water? What about, earth? No, I can't see it everywhere because they are grosser. So he says that nirakaraha, I don't have a form. I'm formless. Matter has to have form, whereas I am formless because I am not the matter. Of course, space and wind or air are also matter principles, but they are very, very subtle. And therefore, they are not having a form, and therefore, they are more pervasive than the other three. But what about I, the Atma? I am even subtler than the space. Therefore, I am everywhere. Nirakaraha. I don't have a form. I'm formless because I am not matter. I'm not even having an iota of matter in me. Nirakaraha. Niravadhyaha. Niravadhyaha means I cannot be destroyed or I cannot decay. There cannot be any loss. I'm not, I'm indestructible Atma. Whereas the body is very easily destructible. Very easily. You don't have to do anything for the body to get destroyed. Even if you sit in your home for months together, it's okay. The body can be destroyed. A part of the body can be destroyed. I can fall down in my bathroom and break a bone. Body can be destroyed. It's that easy for the body to get destroyed. Whereas I, indestructible, niravadya aham avyayaha. I don't decay. Avyayaha. Ajo nityaha shashvatoyam puranaha. Bhagavad Gita. So here, niravadyaha, and I'm also free from any kind of a loss or decay. For the body to decay, I don't have to do anything. I just have to grow old. I don't have to do anything to grow old. I just have to wait. Automatically, the time will make me old. So he says, Niravadyaha aham, Niravadyo aham, avyayaha. Decayless, defectless, indestructible, formless, nirvikaraha. I am Atma, I am that consciousness. Whereas Deha is what? Exactly opposite of this. It is Vikari, it has an Akara, Sakaraha, it is all the time prone for destruction, it is all the time wasting away. Therefore, Naham Deho Hyasat Rupaha Jnanamityuchyate Budhaihi. This is what the wise people or the rishis or jnanis call as jnanam. Seeing myself for what I am, the reality of what I am, negating the wrong notion that I have about myself. Next verse, 26th verse. Niramayo nirabhaso nirvikalpohamataha naham deho hyasadrupo jnanamityuchyate budhaihi. Amaya means disease. Niramaya means without any disease. It's the body which falls sick because it is matter principle. It decays, it has vikara, therefore, it is likely to be afflicted by disease. But I, the Atma, is not affected by disease, niramaya. Sarve santu niramayaha, we say in Swasti mantra. That means what? Let people be healthy. Let there not be any afflictions. Niramaya means free from any diseases, free from any afflictions. Nirabhasaha. Abhasa means what? That which is available for perception. Nirabhasa means that which is not an object of perception. I look at myself in the mirror. There is an abhasa. There is a reflection which is available for perception, for objectification. Correct? But who am I? I'm nirabhasaha. I'm the very subject. I'm not the object of perception. Nirvikalpaha. Vikalpaha. Nirvikalpaha. Okay? That where there are no changes, there are no doubts, there is no frequent changing. Nirvikalpaha. Then aham atataha. Atataha means all pervading. Why am I all pervading? Because I'm sukshmat sukshmataram nityam. I'm nirvikari. I'm nirakaraha. Therefore, I am all pervading. See, all these are related to each other. You must, if you have observed by now in these three verses, every swarupam of me is connected with the next. Atataha. Maya sarvam idam tatam, Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. That means what? I, this Atma, pervade this whole universe. Idam sarvam maya tatam. I can also say that. You can also say that. Idam sarvam, all this jagat, maya tatam. I, this consciousness, kshetrajna, is pervading in everything around me. So I am all pervading. Atataha. Naham deho hyasad rupaha. I am not the Deha, which is Asadrupaha. So, opposite, correct? In the Yukti, that in the previous 5 verses up till 23rd verse, Bhagwan Shankaracharya gave the same things, but giving the logic or reasoning behind it. Now, here in Shruti Pramana also, we can easily see the reasoning. It is the same reasoning that is given. Niramayaha, I am unafflicted by diseases, whereas the body, it is afflicted by diseases. Nirabhasaha, I am not an object. I cannot objectify. I can't be objectified. There is no abhasa. I cannot be objectified by anything. Whereas body is objectified by not only me, but by everybody else, everything else. Nirvikalpaha, doubt free, doubtless, no changes. Body is all the time full of changes. Atataha, I, the Chaitanyam, is all pervading in the form of existence, consciousness. We saw Sat, Chit, Ananda Lakshanam. What about this body? Limited by time, limited by space, limited by another object. Correct? Now I am sitting here on this chair and talking to you. Somebody else wants to sit here on this chair, they have to displace me and sit. So I am limited by another object. Correct? I am here, I am not there. So I am limited by space. Okay? This body was not there before it was born. It won't be there when it dies, limited by time. Desha Kala Vastu Parichinna is the body, whereas Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinnam is this Atma. See, exactly the opposite, isn't it? But how successfully we have managed to believe that I am this body. How successfully we have managed. It's just not possible because I am of exactly opposite nature than what I think I am. Still, I have successfully managed to have a wrong opinion, a wrong entanglement, wrong attachment, and suffer by that. Suffering by the wrong idea, mistaken idea, misconception. I'm suffering by my misconception. What a thing. And that is what? Ignorance. What greater ignorance can be there? He said, isn't it? Bhagwan Shankaracharya said, Kim ajnanam ataha param. In the previous verses, is there any greater ignorance than this? Isn't it? Maybe ignorance of the world outside, of the of the objects outside. Probably it is easier to correct the mistake and see the truth. Oh, I was mistaken. Okay, this is the real. But is it so easy for me to see that I am mistaken and correct my mistake without the help of the Guru and Acharya? It is not possible because Pratyaksha Pramana doesn't work here. I have mistaken something for something else, but when I see something, then I can, oh, yeah. Oh, I thought it was this. Oh, is it like this? Pratyaksha Pramana can help me correct my mistake. Anumana Pramana can help me to correct my mistake. But here, none of these Pramanas, none of these, instruments of knowledge are working. It's only Vedanta Pramana which can help me. And if I'm not going to take the help of Vedanta Pramana, then where is the question of my, knowing the mistake? Oh, I'm mistaken. Oh my God, I didn't know. I thought it was this, but now I know it's not that. How do I know that? Unless I get into Vedanta. And my identification with the body has been so strong for janmas together. Listening once to the Guru or once to Vedanta, is it going to help me? No. It is a lifelong commitment, maybe lives long commitment. Because it's not that easy to unlearn something which is very, very strongly ingrained. In Atmajnanam, I need to unlearn whatever I know about myself and then learn. That is, negating the false or the wrong impression means unlearning what I have all these years thought, and then replacing it with the right knowledge. Is it so easy? No. People lose interest. People lose commitment. They despair that, oh, I'm not understanding anything. But then it requires, the commitment and the shraddha that, yes, I'm in this now. I have started moving on this particular line. And definitely one day or the other, someday or the other, I'm going to know who I am. This life, it may not happen, doesn't matter. Time is not the thing here. Time is not the issue at all. It is something which sometime or the other, this jiva who's traveling, this jiva has to learn. Doesn't matter if it has to take several bodies to learn it. Therefore, Vedanta talks about prayatna, self effort, uddharet atmanatmanam. One has to make, that's why a mumukshu is called as a yati, yatate iti yati. Constantly striving for this, making an effort for this. Okay, so we have completed the 26th verse, which again gives the same thing as to what I am not and asserts what I am, in which we can also see the reasoning why the assertion is there and negation is there. So, next in the 27th verse, we'll see what it is. Nirguno nishkriyo nityaha nityamuktohamu ahamachyutah naham deho hyasadrupo jnanamityuchyate budhaihi. Second line is the same. And what does he say? How does he explain the Shruti Pramana Bhagwan Shankaracharya? Out of that compassion for us, he repeats again and again. And in Aparokshanubhuti, especially, you'll find the same idea being repeated in many, many verses, but the words are different. It is not a dosha here. It's not a punarukti dosha here. It's not a repetition out of not knowing what to say. No. It's not that Bhagwan Shankaracharya wants to write 144 verses in which he doesn't know what to write and he goes on repeating. No, that's not the thing. Because Bhagwan Shankaracharya and our Vedas, Vedanta knows that the most difficult thing for a mumukshu is to get rid of the identification with the body, mind, sense complex. And therefore, again and again, these ideas are repeated, but in different words. Different Upanishads say them in different words. Different gurus talk about them in different words. But ultimately, it is the same. That is why in Bhagavad Gita also, we see the same idea repeated in many chapters, in many verses, but with different words. It's not because Lord Krishna wants to repeat, it is because of the durvigneyatvat, for the difficulty in understanding the subject. Sukshmatvat, this subject is a very subtle subject, Sukshmatvat, durvigneyatvat, difficulty in understanding. Why difficulty in understanding? Because our wrong notions and misunderstanding is so deep, requires a lot of brushing, requires a lot of grouting. When the grout is accumulated over our wash basin or a sink or something, its shine is gone. How much time it takes to, you know, degrout. Like my guru used to say, if you want to paint on a wall, first you have to remove the first paint, then only you can put in the second paint. Isn't it? Without scraping off the original paint, is it possible for us to paint the wall new, especially if you want to have a different color? It is not possible. It is going to start chipping out. That is what is being done here in multiple verses, in different words, but in a language which is very easily understandable by us. So, next 27th verse we'll see. Nirguno nishkriyo nityaha nityamuktohamachyutaha. I think I read this verse. I'm sorry I repeated it. So, now he says, Nirgunaha. I don't have any attributes. What has attributes? Matter has attributes. Trigunatmika Maya Prakriti has the attributes of Sattva Rajas Tamas, and therefore the Karyam of Maya, the matter principle, the gross matter, has got gunas, attributes, isn't it? But I, the Atma, being purely Chaitanya Swarupam, I don't have any attributes. Aham nirgunaha. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, we saw that 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? Where Lord Krishna first explains what are gunas, what are attributes, how they come about, what is the effect of those gunas. And then ultimately he says what? This Atma is nirguna. It has no attributes. But then I say, I'm fat. Fat is the guna of the body, correct? But I say I'm fat. So I have superimposed the attribute of the body onto myself. I say I am partially blind. So the attribute of the I have superimposed upon myself and say I am partially blind. No, the body is fat. The eyes are partially blind. The ears are partially deaf. Okay. I have a heart disease. No, the heart has a disease. I don't have it. Incidentally, I am associated with a diseased heart, but I am not the diseased heart, and I don't have the disease that the heart has. Therefore, nirgunaha. See, we have not only mistaken ourselves for the body, we have mistaken ourselves for the attributes of the body also. So, whatever is the guna of the body, I think I am that. So, nirgunaha. Nishkriyaha. I don't have any actions, actionless. Akarta abhokta. No kriya. Who is the one who is doing the kriya? Gunaha guneshu vartante. Indriyani indriyartheshu vartante. Na aham kinchit karomi. Bhagavad Gita again. I don't have any kind of a kriya in me. I don't do any actions. I'm not a karta. So who am I? Akarta abhokta atma. Okay. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. We saw that. What is it that destroys or what is it that acts? It's the body mind sense complex. I don't have any actions in me. Na karta na karayita nishkriyaha. I'm neither the doer nor the abater or make somebody else do something. Then who am I? I'm a mere witness to all the actions that are happening in this body mind sense complex and elsewhere. So nishkriyaha, there are no actions in me. I don't do any actions. Aham akarta abhokta. Nityaha, not limited by time, eternal. Nityaha. Muktaha. Nityo. Nityaha. Nityamuktaha. Always free. I'm always free because I am Niramayaha. I'm Nishkriyaha. I'm not affected by any action. I'm not affected by any experience. I'm not affected by any amaya. That means what? I'm not affected by any diseases, change, vikara, nothing. That's all. I am Nitya Muktaha. I'm always Muktaha. Why is he saying Nitya Muktaha? That is ever free. Why is Bhagwan saying this? When I'm sleeping also, I'm Muktaha, isn't it? Very happy. Totally free from everything. Muktaha. This Jiva is free in sleep, deep sleep. But the moment the Jiva comes back to the Jagrat Avastha and Swapna Avastha, it is full of samsara, bound by samsara. But who am I? In Jagrat Avastha, in Swapna Avastha, in Sushupti Avastha, which belong to the Jiva, which belong to the mind, I am the ever free consciousness. Not bound by the Jagrat Jiva, Jagrat Avastha, not bound by the Swapna Jiva, Swapna Avastha, not bound by the Karana Avastha, then who am I? Sthula Sukshma Karana Vyatirikta Avasthatraya Sakshi Nitya Mukta Atma. I am Nitya Muktaha. Aham Achyutaha. Achyutaha means what? For me, there is no chuti, no wasting, no degeneration, no decay. So there is no chuti in me. That means what? Achyutaha. I am totally ever free from any kind of a chuti, achyutaha. Whereas next line what? Therefore, naham dehaha asad rupaha. I am not the asad rupa dehaha, which is full of gunas, which is full of kriya, karma, which is anitya, which is ever bound, limited, limited by samsara, limited by time, limited by space, by everything. Whereas I, the Atma, I am unlimited by any of these things, therefore I am Nitya Muktaha. So, Naham Deho Asadrupaha Jnanamityuchyate Budaihi. So, asserting the facts, the reality of me using Vedanta Pramana. Second line, negating what I am not, like what we saw in the Atma Shatkam earlier. Then we'll see the next verse, the 28th. Did we do the 27th verse? Yeah, 27th we did, Nirguna. Yeah, 28th verse we'll see. Nirmalo nischalo nantaha shuddho hammajaro maraha naham deho hyasat rupaha jnanamityuchyate budhaihi. Nirmalaha. I don't have any malas in me. Virajaha, it is called as Raja or Mala. Impurities can be there only in anatma, in matter principle. Whereas in me, the consciousness Swarupa Atma, there is no question of any lepa, there is no question of any mala. So therefore, nirmalaha. Nirmalaha means there's absolutely no question of any mala. I am not afflicted by any impurities. So then, am I Shuddhaha? Yes, it will come in the next one. So let's see. Nishchalaha, no movement in me. What moves? The body moves, the prana moves, the mind moves, the sense organs move, but I don't move. Why? I'm all pervading. I'm everywhere. How can I move? Space itself, which is a karyam, which is a product of Atma, space itself is something which is nischala. It doesn't move. It is all pervading, it doesn't move. What about me, the Atma, who am the very karanam of this space also? Nischala. There is no movement. When I say, I am very disturbed today, where is the disturbance? In the mind. Because I, the Atma, is able to see, to perceive the disturbance. So can I be disturbed? Can a disturbed Atma perceive the disturbance in itself? Can the mind which is disturbed perceive the disturbance in itself? No. There should be something else which is perceiving the disturbance in the mind. So, what is this? The one which has chalanam all the time? It is the body mind sense complex, anatma. I am chalana varjitaha. Nischala means I don't move, there is no movement in me. Nischala. Anantaha. Anantaha means what? I am infinite. What do I mean by infinite? I am there everywhere. Atataha, he said in the previous verses. I am everywhere. I am not limited in any way. So I am the unlimited consciousness. Shuddhaha. Nirmala already has been said. So what is the meaning of Shuddhaha? Shuddhaha means the light of consciousness. Nirmalaha means that which is not tainted by any matter principle. No malas, no impurities are there. Shuddhaha means pure light of consciousness. And who am I? Ajaraha Amaraha. Ajaraha. There's no question of any aging, degeneration, apakshaya in me. Ajaraha. Amaraha. I'm not born. I don't die. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purana. Shashvataha. That is jararahitaha. Ajaraha. Amaraha means that I am absolutely one which is immortal. Mortality is for the body, not for me, the Atma. Therefore, now the negating thing, Naham Dehaha. Therefore, I am not the Dehaha. Asadrupaha. This Asadrupa Deha, I am not. Jnanamityuchate budhaihi. This is what is called as the knowledge, the real knowledge or Atmajnana. See, all these verses can be used for Nididhyasana, not simply for chanting. You can chant, there is no problem. But if I can take up one verse, one shloka for Nididhyasana, this is Nididhyasana mantras only. You have heard of Brahma Jnanavali mantras, Nididhyana mantras. Asangoham, 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 punah punah. Satchidananda Rupoham Ahamevava Ahamevaham Avyayah. Nitya Shuddha Vimuktoham. We have said, we have all of our Chitrapur Nitya, this one also, no, it will have that. Brahma Jnanavali, where I am asserting what I am and negating what I am not. These are Nididhyasana mantras. We can use them as Nididhyasana mantras. We saw that some Nididhyasana mantras we took even in Viveka Chudamani. They are nothing but the same. It is with almost the same mantra. The same thing is here. They are all Nididhyasana shlokas, sorry. Therefore, we can always use it for Nididhyasana as to when I'm feeling unhappy and miserable and limited. If I can do the Nididhyasana as to where is this limitation? Is it in me or is it something else? Am I perceiving this limitation? Then I'm not limited. The limitation is somewhere else. Where is the limitation? Is it in the body or is it in the mind? Where is it? And if I can see myself as the limitless Atma very clearly, every day when I'm disturbed by samsara, if I can use any of these shlokas, they give a wonderful method of Nididhyasana. What more is Nididhyasana? Contemplating on the Vedantic teaching, Vedanta Chintanam all the time, without any doubt. Whatever I've heard, I go on contemplating over that. And when can I contemplate? As I'm feeling the heat of limitations of the body mind sense complex. That is the time I have to bring in this knowledge. So these are very good for Nididhyasana mantras. Let us just take the 29th verse, and again there is a continuation of the same thought process, but here the second line, that group of five which we saw, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, these five, that second line was common. Naham asad rupah deha. But here the same thing is there, the same idea is there, but in a little different way. So then he says, let us see the 29. Swadehe shobhanam santam purushakyam cha sammatam kim murkha shunyamaatmanam dehatitam karoshi bho. He's addressing, Bhagwan Shankaracharya is addressing a particular philosopher who's called a Shunyavadi, who says that there is nothing called as an Atma because I don't see it, I don't perceive it, it's not an object of my perception. Therefore, it is not there. Atma is Shunya. There's nothing called as an Atma. This is a Shunyavadi's understanding of myself. So I don't exist. Temporarily, there are spurts of consciousness because of which I do the Vyavahara. But there is nothing called as, that Atma or anything which is constantly there. So he says, Bho, he Shunyavadi, kim murkhaha shunyam atmanam karoshi. Hey Murkha, he says, hey deluded intellect, hey Shunyavadi, you are saying that this Atma is zero, Shunya. How do you make this kind of an Atma as Shunyam when Swadehe Santam, it is so, consciously available, Swadehe. In me as I am iti, this consciousness, this Atma is constantly available to me. Swadehe santam, shobhanam, ananda swarupam, chaitanya swarupam. Shobhanam means what? Auspicious. What is auspiciousness? Purnatva swarupam, ananda swarupam. So swadehe eva. In this body mind sense complex, it is available as constantly expressing itself. Ahamasmi iti shobhanam chaitanya swarupam atmas ananda swarupa atma swadehe eva santam purushakyam. It is called as purushaha. Purusha does not mean a man or a male. Purushaha means this Atma, the term used for Atma in our scriptures is Purushaha. Purishete, okay, Dehe, Puri Vartate iti Purushaha. Purayati Sarvam iti Purushaha. These are the grammatical, way of looking at it. But remember one thing, Purushaha in Vedanta means also Atma. Purushakhyam, also known as Atma. Cha Sammatam means what? Also known as Atma. Purushaha. This Atma, which is also known as Purushaha, is available Swadehe in this very body. Shobhanam Ananda Swarupam Atma. He Murkha Shunyavadi. How can you say that I, the Atma, don't exist? So we'll stop with this. Om Nandantu Sadhaka Sarve Vinashyantu Vidushakaha Avastha Shambhavi Mestu Prasannostu Gurus Sada Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukham Apnuyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.